Hey there, Lynn and Joseph. We are back with another educational video as we are now talking about the start of the year. We always like to do actually a couple of different stats throughout the year so you know each quarter how things are going. And we're here at the first one, the first of the year. So we have a video we filmed that go look on our YouTube if you missed it. And it's kind of looking over 4 different little bullets that we talk about that are real key to knowing where to position yourself or how to pursue your offer if you're writing an offer, right? So, sorry, if you're a buyer writing an offer. So, Joseph, go over a little bit about what we talked on and what we're going to talk on today.
Yeah, so in the last one, we covered 4 main stats that we talk about: the number of homes that sold and the median sales price, right? And those are 2 indicators of actually what happened to what we call sellers, right? That's actually what happened when you sold your house. Mm-hmm. Both of those stats are up. They're not shooting up, right? They're actually, some would say they're more flatlined, a little bit of a growth. That's a good thing, right? That's an indicator of the real estate market. The other 2 stats, so these are the ones that really get adjusted, and that's the percentage of original list price to sales price, right? So when a home is priced here, what is the median percentage that they get of that? And that did drop a little bit. It went to about 96.4%, which was about just over a point drop from the year before, or for the time frame before. And then the other one is days on market, right? How long did it take the home to sell? And that one was a pretty big jump, right? It went from about 29 days on market, median days on market, to 42, right? So that's a big one, right? You'll feel that a little bit. It's less than 2 weeks, but if you're a seller who was expecting it to be less than 4 weeks, and now that you're going almost to 6, that's okay. That can be a little painful. However, one of the things we talked about in the video is why this isn't reality.
The tale of 2 markets. Isn't that what you
Yeah,
said?
it is. It's the tale of 2 markets, right?
Not the tale of 2 cities, which is a great novel, but the tale of 2 markets.
Right. So the tale of 2 markets are basically this: homes that were priced in the market and homes that were priced outside the market. And there's really only one indicator on that, and that is the number of homes that had to do a price reduction in order to close on the property.
So inside the market, you mean they are priced in the bracket that we have determined through stats will sell at a certain time?
Correct.
What is in and out of the market?
In and out of the market means you're in the market when you close on your house.
Oh,
right?
So you're successful.
So you're successful. You're out of the market when you don't. Okay. And so what happened is about 53% of the homes that sold in Q4 actually started out of the market. They didn't come into the market until they did a price reduction. So about a little more than half of the homes that closed in Q4 actually had to reduce the price of their home. Now, again, don't panic. We talked about this in the other video. Just because you had to reduce the price of your home to actually get a sale, it doesn't mean you reduce the value of your home. There's a big difference there. The median sales prices continue to go up, indicating that values are going up. So that's the first important thing.
But is there a pain point when you have to drop your price?
Well, of course, because you allowed yourself to get attached to that original price, right? And we can sit here and argue all day. See, real estate agents, we automatically want to say, well, the real estate agent didn't price it correctly, right? And sellers are saying, well, I wanted to price it higher. Let's not get into that battle. Let's just get into the fact is there's a reality that there are 2 markets. What we don't pay attention to is the impact of those markets, and this is huge. So let's go back to the 2 stats of selling your property that we talked about. Number 1 is list price to sales price, right? So as we said before, the median list price to sales price was 96.4%. But that was overall. If you break this down and you look at the 53% of homes that actually had to do a price reduction, their median list price to sales price, original list price to sales price, actually was only 92%. So you saw a big delta from where they were originally listed to where they actually closed. And that's huge because a lot of people don't realize is that once you reduce the price, there is actually an even smaller drop that you have to go to actually do it because you've had time on the market, et cetera. So that's the thing to keep in mind. If you don't have to do a price reduction, the median sales price to list price was 100%, right? Almost 30% of the market that closed in Q4 actually got at least 100% or more of list price to sales price. So I know it's a lot of information, but it's important to say. So that's a good thing to have. Here's the other stat, right? The other thing that we talked about, and this one has always been amazingly huge, is this is days on market. Right. So the days on market one is a huge stat because we said earlier that the median days on market was 42. What scares me about that is a lot of sellers will say, well, I'm going to put my home on the market 42 days. If I have to wait 42 days, that's fine. Here's what we know. The homes that had to do a price reduction that actually then closed, their median days on market was 94. Yeah, so that's 3 mortgage payments. If you don't price your home correctly, you have a high risk of actually having to be on the market for 3 mortgage payments. Here's the fantastic thing. If you did price correctly, if you were in the market, you priced correctly, the median days on market was 7. Right, 7. So that's almost half the market. Again, 43%, 44% of the homes that closed in Q4 actually didn't have to do a price reduction. They had a median days on market of 7, and they got 100% median sales price to list price was 100%. So now that I've regurgitated a lot of stats to you, the important part is to know is to price correctly, right? Because if you do not price correctly, the home could potentially take almost 12 times longer to sell. And then you have a risk of actually having to negotiate even more once you finally price yourself in the market.
Yeah, the key here is all of these stats are what drive you as a buyer or a seller. Because if you have if as a buyer I'm out there and I can go look at what prices are happening with the closed homes and you're out of the market,
Yep.
Then I'm going to lowball you, or I being the agent, I'm going to say, I don't see any stats supporting the number. So if you're testing the market, we're going to wait till you get more serious about the market.
Yep.
And then that's those extra mortgage payments you didn't want to pay as a seller, right? So these stats are so important, and it's crucial that your agent helps you understand what is your neighborhood's average days on market. So you figure out, does that number still make me happy as a seller? All in all, it's just about communication and
100%.
Expectations and knowing what's in front of you. So this is great information. Anything else to cover?
No, I mean, there's plenty to cover. I know this is a lot of information. We talk about it all the time, so it makes sense and it's simple to us. However, if it did get overwhelming, or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to translate any of this information that we can and help you in any way that we can.
Yes, we'd love to help, and we can drill down for you where you are and give you that information. So reach out to us. Check out our YouTube video. All of our newsletters and blogs cover all of this, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Have a great day.